Ugh, another blank again. I grumbled, stuffing the crumpled losing lottery ticket into my pocket as I waited for the light to turn green. My name is Jack. I'm 30 years old. Living alone quietly in a small apartment. A brisk wind made me involuntarily shrug my shoulders from the cold. Then, right in front of me, a sleek black luxury car pulled up with a slight brake sound. Nice car. As I was thinking this, the window quietly opened and a beautiful woman showed her face. Well, she's incredibly beautiful. I'd never get involved with someone like her in a lifetime. Thinking this, our eyes met unexpectedly. Feeling awkward, I looked away, but the luxury car came to a complete stop, and a woman in a suit got out. She stepped out, heels clicking, wearing a crisp white suit that screamed heiress. As she walked, heels clicking, she looked at me and approached. Then, "Excuse me, you're Jack, right?" "Yes, that's me, but who are you?" "I'm sorry to be so sudden. I'm Lisa Brown." Saying this, she handed me a business card with a company name I didn't recognize and a name I didn't know, Lisa Brown. In my panic, she said, "I'm sorry to be abrupt, but could you listen to my story?" "No way. A beautiful woman like her wants to talk to me. Could this be some kind of reverse pickup?" No. That's impossible. It must be a scam or some kind of solicitation. "I'm in a hurry, excuse me," I said, making sure not to make eye contact and running across the blinking walk signal. Glancing back, the woman was still staring at me intently. It's been 3 days since that strange encounter, but her expression is still stuck in my mind. It's bothering me. I can't help but be curious. I kept looking at her business card, checking the contact details, and calming myself by searching "suddenly being approached" scam on my cell phone. Why am I so concerned? Sure, she's beautiful, but really, it's because of the way she looked at me, like she wanted to say something. I shake my head vigorously, trying to erase the memory. Ever since I ran away from my father, I've maintained a peaceful life, but now I feel like a storm is brewing. Ding dong, ding dong. The doorbell rings in the middle of a weekday. I was off work, sleeping in, and the sound woke me up, leaving me in a bad mood. Yes, it's me, Lisa. I freeze. Lisa is the name of the beautiful woman who gave me her card. How does she know where I live? My heart starts racing, and I break out in a cold sweat. I open the door, and she starts talking without waiting. "Sorry to be sudden. Do you know Emily Thomas?" That's the name of my mother." "Yes, actually, she's my mother too." "What?" "I have something important to tell you about our mother." "Please leave." I don't want to hear anything about that person. Please, just leave without saying anything else." "But it's important." "Just go, please." "How did you even find this house? I could report you to the police, you know." "Well, if you leave now without saying anything, I'll let it go. Don't ever come back here, please, just leave." "I'm sorry for disturbing you. I'll leave for today." The click-clack of heels echoed down the apartment hallway, reminiscent of the sound I heard while waiting at the traffic light, fading gradually into the distance. What's going on, really? Back when I was in middle school, I had a mother. But one day, she suddenly disappeared. Without a word, leaving me alone in that house. My father, born as the second son in a wealthy family, had a life of no hardships. He met my mother in college, married her right after graduation, and soon, I was born. As a laid-back and easygoing child, I often got scolded by my strict father. "You haven't even done your homework yet. Lazy kids will get nowhere, you know." Really, who did you take after? Every time he said that, my mother would fiercely scold him as if she was about to hit him, and then she would hug me. She always protected me. You're a good boy, clever and kind, the pride of your mother. Yet, despite saying that, she disappeared one day. It was in the fall of my second year in middle school. When I got home from school, she was gone. I tried calling my father, but couldn't reach him, and as the outside darkened, I couldn't hold back and ran out of the house. "Mom, where did you go, Mom?" I kept shouting in my mind, searching all over the neighborhood. Our friends' homes where our families were close, the supermarket where we often shopped, the nearby park she used to take me to when I was little. I went everywhere I could think of, but she was nowhere to be found. My mother wasn't found. Returning home in despair, my father was leisurely drinking coffee in the living room. "Where have you been until this late? I understand you're in your rebellious phase, but don't do anything to embarrass me." Hearing his usual words, I felt my blood boil. "What are you talking about? Mom's gone. That's why I was looking for her. How can you be so calm? Aren't you worried about Mom?" I shouted, grabbing his shirt, only to be brushed off annoyingly. "She left this morning." "Left? Yes. But that can't be, because Mom, trying to say she cared about you. Maybe not, you were abandoned." Spitting those words, my father left for work. Abandoned. Mom left. I collapsed to my knees, my brain refusing to understand. Mom would never return to this house again. After a while, I understood that much. Sigh. I hadn't thought about this in a long time. It's a memory I want to forget. One I never want to recall again. The misery makes me dizzy. Since that day, Lisa started appearing frequently, as if out of nowhere. No matter how much I watched my surroundings, she'd be near me without my noticing and start talking. "I'm sorry for scaring you. Please, listen to what I have to say. Would you meet our mother, please?" These 4 sentences were what she'd invariably say when she saw me. Each time, I felt like I was running away. It's too much to suddenly be asked to meet a parent who abandoned me. And frankly, I don't even want to. I had finally escaped from my overbearing father. Honestly, I wanted to forget about both of my parents. Moreover, Lisa is a president's daughter. I had no desire to meet a mother who left me for a better life. Eventually, she would understand that I didn't want to meet our mother and give up. It was a waiting game. As I thought this, the moment finally came. Ding dong. On a weekday afternoon when I was off work, the doorbell rang and I heard Lisa's voice outside. "I promise this will be the last time. Please, listen to me." What does she mean by the last time? I listened to her voice. "I've written a letter. Everything I want to say to you is in it. Please read it. I'm sorry for chasing after you all this time." I heard the clack of a letter being dropped into the post box, followed by her retreating footsteps. A letter. I opened the post box to find a pristine white envelope. Inside were 7 sheets of paper. I began reading the first one. "Dear Jack, I apologize for pursuing you without considering your feelings. Time is running out for our mother, and I will be spending more time at the hospital. I've written down everything I want to tell you in this letter." What? Time running out. Going to the hospital. I felt increasingly agitated, reading the letter intently. After finishing, I found myself running, letter clutched in hand. "Please let me be in time." I raced to a certain place, praying. The truth is, our mother is suffering from a severe illness. She doesn't have much time left. I knew I had a step-brother. Mother would talk about you, her beloved son, with such a peaceful expression. As I grew older, I wondered why she had to leave her dear son. One day, she finally told me, "Your father, who was having an affair, accused her of infidelity." Despite her protests, nobody believed her. The false story spread to neighbors and relatives, and with no place to go, she left, worrying it might affect you negatively. She fought for custody, but was denied, being labeled an adulteress with no income. She left you in that house, unable to prove her innocence. Years later, she met my father. I was about to finish high school, and I was delighted to have a mother. I love her dearly, so I wanted to fulfill her greatest wish and came to see you. Jack, would you please grant me this selfish request? Will you meet our mother one last time? Arriving at the hospital, breathless, I completed the visitation procedures. What am I going to do when I meet her? What should I talk about? I had no idea, but the word last compelled me to come. I knocked on the door of my mother's private room, and a voice said, "Come in." Opening the door, Lisa looked at me, surprised. Beside her, on the bed, lay a thin, elderly woman connected to tubes. It had been years since I saw my mother, but somehow, I knew this woman was her. Mom. I had only meant to call her softly, but at the sound of my voice, my mother opened her eyes. "Isn't that you, Jack? You recognize me? I'm already over 30. "Of course I do. You're my son, Jack. You've grown up so much, but this is strange. Is this a dream? Has my time come so soon?" "No, it's not a dream. I'm really here. I came to see you." As I said this and took her hand, she grasped it back repeatedly, saying, "Ah, it's true, with joy." Lisa, unable to hold back her tears, covered her mouth and left the room. Until just now, I had been wondering what to say. But surprisingly, the words came out smoothly. I told her about how I started enjoying studying after she left, how cooking has become a part of my life, and various other things. Mom listened silently, smiling occasionally. "You've become a fine adult. I'm sorry I couldn't be there to see your life unfold," she said as she burst into tears. Why didn't you come back for me?" She looked surprised and gently stroked my cheek. "I did come back. After leaving, I tried several times to see you, but your father's family turned me away. Even so, I couldn't give up and waited near your house, hoping to see you. I didn't know that. I couldn't bring myself to speak to you. I saw you coming home, laughing and happy with your friends. I thought, if Jack has a life without me, if he's happy and healthy, then that's enough for me. So, I left without saying anything. I had no idea. Later, I remarried a good man, my current husband, and had a lovely daughter, Lisa. But perhaps it was karma. I got sick. I've been nothing but a burden to my children. That's not fair. You left me alone. I'm sorry. I never forgave you because I wanted to be with you." What? Dad was so strict. Every day was hard. He didn't care about me, only my achievements. I waited in that house, always hoping you'd come back for me. I didn't know. I'm so sorry. My leaving caused you so much pain. But I want to forgive it all today. I'm really happy we could meet again like this, Mom. I grasped my mother's trembling little finger. "Let's make peace. Thank you for thinking of me. That alone makes my life until today feel worthwhile. I feel saved." Through tearful eyes, I managed to show my best smile. "Jess, thank you. It makes me so happy to hear you say that. I'm blessed. With Jack, I wish we could have spent days talking, arguing, laughing more, saying goodbye and welcome back, good morning and good night, watching you grow up every day. But I'm glad we could meet like this. Seeing the smile of my grown-up son makes me truly blessed." Under the clear sky, I watched the smoke rise to the heavens. My mother continued to fight her illness. She tried her best, hoping to go out with me and Lisa once she got better. In her last few months, I tried to visit her hospital room every day. We talked a lot and created many memories. Jack, thank you for indulging my selfishness and fulfilling my mother's last wish. Thank you too. I'm glad I could see Mom one last time. Actually, approaching you at the traffic light wasn't a coincidence. I found you based on the information my mother had, with the help of a private detective. I'm sorry for being sneaky about it. That's okay. I'm really happy about it. I'm grateful that you came to me, clearing up the misunderstandings about Mom and revealing the truth. With these memories, I can now look forward and walk ahead. Someday, I think I'll also face my father. I won't run away from my life anymore, the life my mother gave me. She'll be happy for you." Lisa gave the biggest smile I had seen since we met.